Since this is a part 2 in a sense, I want to give you a quick little recap of what we had just talked about and where we're at in the story. DSP spent a considerable amount of time telling us about the private React style videos that he was recording for Slayer and how it was all pretty much K-pop related. DSP has also spent an extended period of time complaining about the YouTube copyright system and claiming that they broke the law, and that they continue to do so. And as we all know, DSP did spend many years studying pig law, so he is very familiar with the YouTube copyright system and how it should be working in accordance to the law. But more important for us now is that he just told us that the hour-long private react that he filmed for Slayer, where he watched a bunch of K-pop all back to back, has become corrupted. Whatever will our hero do? Let's find out.
Now, in the last year, I've had on and off problems with video corruption, and I've looked into them to figure out what the source is. It's actually OBS. At first, I thought it was my PC getting old and portions of that hard drive were corrupting. It's actually not the case. The problem is OBS itself. Last year, OBS had an update, and the update changed a lot of features and actually made a lot of features better, but also created a big issue with video corruption. All right? Now, since then, OBS has updated, but I can't get the newest updates because I use Windows 8, and OBS is no longer supported by Windows 8. So any updates they do don't apply. So they updated my OBS, gave me this issue with file corruption, and then updated it later, but said, oh, you can't get the update because we made it so that, you know, it doesn't work with Windows 8 anymore. What a bunch of assholes. What a bunch of dick suckers. Seriously. That's fucked up.
So let me get this all straight. For at least the last year, DSP has been dealing with videos getting corrupted at least on a semi-regular basis. So much so that he's looked into it and is familiar with what the problem is. But he hasn't gone out of his way to fix it. He hasn't been able to find a solution to a problem that he's having on his streams, the thing that pays his bills. I guess technically it's not the stream, it's for the recorded videos, but still, this is his business. This is what pays his bills. Let's say you have a sandwich shop, right? Please follow me on the sandwich analogy. I swear it's going somewhere. But let's say you have a sandwich shop, right? And you put the sandwich in the oven to get the bread toasted. If for whatever reason, sometimes you just pulled it out of the oven when it was done and it was just burnt to a crisp, just pitch black, nothing you could do about it. It went in just like all of the other ones, but every once in a while it just chars one up. You might be looking into getting a different oven. You might try and figure out what the problem is, because that's not something that you can just continue to let happen, because it is costing you money. And I would say DSP's situation is actually even worse, because it's not just a sandwich that you have to remake, it's an entire video that you have to remake. And especially with something like reaction style content, you can't do the same reaction twice because you can only experience something for the first time once. So while in my analogy you can just make another sandwich and it's not that big a deal, DSP is going to remake that private style react, and he's going to give Slayer a lesser product because he messed up the recording, because he refuses to figure out a solution. And this is DSP we're talking about, the guy who swears to God he cares about his content and the quality of it, but he can't be bothered to find a solution to his problem so that his videos quit corrupting. Even if that solution is that he needs a new PC, like, this is something that he has to do. It's for the business. This is an actual business expense. You know, that thing that he likes to exaggerate for certain filings? Well, but how about we actually make it true, DSP? How about you put some money into your business so that you can give people a better product?
You fucking gave me an update that fucked up the software that I use for my business, and then you made it so I can't fix it. Gee, thanks, assholes. Seriously.
Well, what did you want them to do, DSP? You wanted them to just support the OS that you use indefinitely? They have to stop the updates eventually. Granted, it might have been a little premature because that OS isn't that old, but it's still fairly old. They have to make the cutoff at some point, and he even goes out of his way to say, oh, it's for my business, assholes. Yeah, exactly, DSP. It's for your business, you assholes. So how about you actually upgrade your equipment so you can properly run your business? And it's not like they did this on purpose. Very clearly it was a bug because they fixed it in later updates. He just got the raw end of the deal because he didn't make the cutoff. And in all honesty, I would imagine that the team behind OBS really thought that anybody using their software to live stream on the internet is tech literate enough to keep their equipment updated to continue to use the software that they need. I'm honestly not even willing to blame them at all that Grandpa over here hasn't decided to upgrade his PC in a decade. That in and of itself is kind of already a problem, because DSP's entire job, his entire business that he operates, is online. And he's been doing it on some decrepit ass POS PC from literally a decade ago.
That pisses me off, obviously, right? So the thing is, it doesn't happen all the time, but every once in a while, I'll get a corrupted video. And the thing that really sucks about this is the only way to really fix that issue is to have a archived stream on YouTube that I can rip the missing video out of.
But you're lying when you say that this is the only solution to fix your problem. It's not the only solution. It's just the only solution that you're willing to do because it requires the least amount of work on your part. Maximum profit for minimum effort. That's the DSPMO.
So for example, right now I'm live streaming and I'm recording at the same time. Okay? Later today, I very well may go to upload this level 1 podcast and find out it's corrupted. Oh shit. If that's the case, what I would then do is I would go to the archive stream on DSP Gaming, which sits there as like a 5-6 hour archive of video. I would go to the portion that's just the level 1 podcast and I would say, edit that out. And it can actually excerpt that as a video and make it its own video on the channel. And now I've saved the video. Even though the video I recorded locally is corrupted, I have a second version of that video that's been created on YouTube that now can be used as the on-demand video.
And that's a really neat feature that YouTube has, right? I totally get that, and I'm glad to see that he's actually utilizing a feature that the website offers. Good for him. But that shouldn't be your primary solution. You should not be relying on this weird YouTube feature that they could just take away whenever they want because they've been known to do that before. You should be solving this problem at the root of the issue, though. And from the way that you're making it sounds like all you need is a simple PC upgrade, or hell, even maybe an entirely new PC. I mean, really, what is that to you? A couple good nights pulling Hogan's? Like, literally a couple good nights? You mean to tell me that you can't sacrifice that for your business that you swear you're proud of? The business that you claim you actually care about the quality of?
The problem is, when I'm doing these private reacts, okay, I'm not streaming. These are private. They're meant to be offline content that then is sent to a viewer and they can do with it whatever they want. A lot of viewers keep this content for themselves. There's been dozens of videos that I made for people over the years that they just kept.
I find that vaguely disturbing, to be honest with you. What did they do it for? Like, what are they doing with that footage? Why did they want it? It just seems so strange to me. Why do you want a one-on-one DSP video like that? It's just awfully suspicious, if you ask me.
They never uploaded it anywhere, never showed it to anyone. It was just for them. Okay, a lot of they consider them private. In the case of Slayer, that's not the case. But here's the thing. Let's say I had live streamed it. First of all, I wouldn't live stream it as a public stream. Okay? Because if that was the case, then it wouldn't be Slayer's content to do with as he chose. That would kind of be a violation of our agreement.
A violation of your agreement? Do you have a contract for this? Did you write something up and you both signed it? What are you talking about, a violation of your agreement? Why does he insist on trying to make everything that he does sound more professional and more business-like than it actually is? And I'm not saying that it wouldn't go against the spirit of the whole thing and actually just be not what he promised to do, but to say that it's a violation of the agreement, like, what is that?
I could live stream it as a private stream just to have an archive saved. But here's the problem. YouTube destroyed the video anyway. Remember? YouTube said, oh, this is not allowed, this is not allowed, this is not allowed, and they blocked it. So even if I had done an archive stream on YouTube as a backup that was a private stream, so if this corruption happens, I can rip that portion of the video out of the stream, it would have been blocked anyway. After the fact, they wouldn't have let me edit it and rip it. It would have said not allowed because it's blocked on YouTube because of copyright issues.
Damn, it's almost like the fix that you had wasn't a foolproof fix and that you actually need to take care of the problem at the root. Who knew that DSP's little band-aid approach wasn't going to work 100% of the time? It's almost like relying on YouTube to do something for you in the first place probably just isn't a good idea. And it's strange to have to say that to DSP because he was the one who was just claiming that they're actively breaking the law in their copyright system, but then immediately goes to rely on them to fix a problem that he's having that he should have taken care of in his real life by getting different equipment if that's what it requires. Loves to talk shit about YouTube, but then wants to use all of their features and rely on them to fix shit. Like, come on, dude. Why don't you fix your own problems? Why don't you actually do something for once?
So even if I had done the redundant thing to make sure this wasn't happening, it still would have happened anyway. There was no way around it. Okay? So now I'm thinking in my head, what else could I have possibly done?
I can only say this so many times, but I am willing to say it again. Given the fact that DSP has known about this problem for a year now, he definitely could have gotten new equipment to solve the problem.
And I'm getting suggestions because, you know, I'm trying to bounce this idea off of people, and people are, oh, what you could have done, a private live stream. You could have flipped the video this way, horizontally, or would that be vertically? No, it would be horizontal. You could have flipped the video horizontally, okay? And hopefully that would have been enough to change the video so YouTube doesn't catch it, right? And doesn't have an issue with it.
And this is the kind of stupid shit that he is willing to do, and it doesn't make any sense to me, because this isn't actively going to improve the quality of the stream in general, but a new PC just might. But of course, the reason that he's even entertaining this idea is because it's just so low effort.
So it's like, so all this stuff's going on. In the meantime, when I'm trying to figure all this out, the second edit on the first video finishes, now I'm going into the third and final edit to trim this video so it's visible on YouTube. So I've got 1 hour of video that I'm trimming the shit out of so people can watch it on YouTube. The other video is completely corrupted and it can't be watched.
Wow, what an absolute debacle that DSP has created entirely by himself. I guess that just kind of summarizes his entire channel though, doesn't it?
So now I'm looking for all these solutions. And basically, I find, oh, here's a program that people use with OBS. When OBS corrupts videos, you can use this program, you can run it. And this program will check the video and fix errors and make it so the videos are visible again.
Very strange to me that he didn't mention what the software is that's going to fix his problem potentially. I just feel like any other content creator who's going this in depth about the problem and what they were doing to fix it would just give you the name in case you might have this same problem yourself. I don't really see a downside to mentioning the software that DSP was using other than him just being a weirdo about things like this.
So now I've got this running on this video while I'm also doing the trimming segment on the other video. So all this is going on at once. Now, in the meantime, I'm trying to finish my work. I want to get done with work for the day so I can go spend time with my wife.
Shout out my wife, I guess. Big ups. But I do want to point out that half of his problem is just the YouTube copyright system, and that easily could have been avoided by just not uploading them to YouTube as a means to get them to Slayer. He should have just uploaded them to something like Dropbox and just been done with it. And I hope for DSP's sake that this entire experience that he's having with the YouTube copyright system and the private React style content is a wake-up call. I hope it's some sort of learning lesson and that he'll look into other means to get the videos out to the people that paid for them. But honestly, I highly doubt it because DSP doesn't really learn from shit.
I'm trying to get out of the office and I was like, let me upload the daily wrap. Oh, I can't. Why? Because when this video checking program is running on the corrupted video, my disk use on my computer goes to 100%. Yes, my hard drive is going insane as this corrupted video is attempting to be fixed by this program and it won't let me upload anything anywhere at all. Okay? So I'm like, well, I can't do that. So I posted up the schedule and I posted up to people, hey guys, if you're wondering where the daily wrap is, I can't upload it right now. You know, you can't do shit. I'm stuck.
Well, damn, I guess people are just gonna have to wait till the pre-stream so that you can recap it there, like you always do. Seriously, who's asking for the daily wrap like it actually matters? He's just gonna recap the daily wrap come pre-stream time anyway.
All right, so basically, over the course of the night, as I'm relaxing with Kat, I'm coming back up to the office, checking constantly to see what's going on with these private React videos. The first video eventually did get fully trimmed, and listen to this. When YouTube was done trimming the video went from 1 hour and 10 minutes long to 22 minutes long.
Yeah, it's almost like you spent the majority of the time watching copyrighted material, DSP. What did you really expect? And for somebody who so desperately wanted to spend time with my wife that evening, you were upstairs off and on trying to check on the content and make sure it was going okay? I'm sure that if you explained to Slayer in a DM, he would totally understand and you could just get it to him when you get to it. That seems like it would be one of the benefits of doing a private style react, that you could communicate with them and ensure that doing that private style react is not going to impede on any of your other goings on.
YouTube cut out 45 minutes of content of the video that I made. Gee, that sounds great. I'm sure that video made total sense, right? No, it didn't. You watch it, it didn't make any sense at all. Everything's missing. You can't watch the, remember, it's supposed to be comparison of one song to the next, one video to the next version. It makes no sense. You can't understand the video at all. It's a waste of time.
Well, if you're asking for my opinion, then nothing actually changed because the whole thing is just a huge waste of time anyway. Slayer is just paying a large sum of money to waste a bunch of DSP's time. I mean, sure, he gets a private video for it, but at the same time, how good can that video really be when it's just DSP trying to pretend to give a shit about something he obviously doesn't care about? Even going as far as to explicitly say that he doesn't care about the subject matter of the content.
So I was like, well, that's a fucking waste of time, piece of shit. So now I'm like, so now where else could I upload videos? What about these video uploading sites? You know, because there's a million of them. You Dropbox and Google Drive and this and that and up and down. I'm trying to figure all this shit out.
What do you mean you're trying to figure them out? You don't know how Dropbox or Google Drive works? You don't know how Google Drive works? I know I just said the same thing twice, but it just kind of dawned on me, like, DSP is that regarded? He doesn't understand Google Drive? Dude, all you gotta do is upload the file and then send somebody a link. It's not complicated. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, I'm trying to figure all these things out. Like you're comparing and contrasting a bunch of different services. Like he's doing some sort of in-depth analysis trying to find the best one. It's just astonishing to me me that the guy who has spent the last 15 years operating his business online knows nothing about it. He actually spends so much time online that if the internet is out, he's not even willing to spend time with his wife. That's how much he needs to be on the internet. But utilizing the basic functions of a Google Drive is just outside of his wheelhouse. What the hell, man?
I'm just like, oh my God. In the meantime, this program is still running, trying to fix the corrupted video, right? So, in truth, I go to sleep. I'm like, I can't, it's taking too long. I'm just, relaxing my cat. I go to sleep. I wake up. I'm not kidding. I woke up at like 3 in the morning. And I was like, well, I got to use the bathroom anyway. I'm just going to head into the office quick and check and see what's going on. All right? So the good news is, I do believe I was finally able to upload the raw video, the first hour, to a third-party service. And I think Slayer should get the video today. I don't know because I think we're in completely different time zones, so I don't even know if he had a chance to check on it today or not. But I think, at the very least, he should get the first video today. All right? The first hour. Now, what he wants to do with that, I don't know, because if he uploads it to, like, any video site, it's probably going to get claimed, blocked, and fucked up. So maybe he just has to keep it for himself. I don't know. Okay?
Again, I'm kind of morbidly curious as to what he's going to do with that content by himself. I don't understand.
But after this program ran on the corrupted video, starting around 10:30 p.m. until whenever it ended in the middle of the morning, it finally finished. I go to play the video, doesn't work. And I'm like, oh my God, you've got to be fucking kidding me. So what this means, I have to re-record the whole second half of the private react I did last night. I basically wasted an hour of my time recording it, and all of that time trying to get the corrupted video to work. It's just not, it doesn't seem to be restorable.
So like I said earlier in the video, DSP is actively going to give Slayer a worse quality product because he can't react to it the same way twice. That's just not how reacting to things works. And this is actually relevant in a different scenario because DSP's been telling people to submit the GTA 6 trailer for this Sunday's react stream so that he can react to it live in front of the stream. But he's already seen the video. In fact, he's already talked about it on his pre-stream. Why would anybody care to see him react to it? He described the entire thing already verbally. He's not going to say anything that he didn't already say, and he's definitely not going to actually notice anything that he didn't notice before. It'll just be a regurgitation of the things that he already says, which I'm sure he would love because that just means that he doesn't actually have to think about something that he has to say. He can just say the same shit that he already thought about earlier.
So what this means is that later on, probably next weekend, I'm probably going to have to take more time away, do another late night stream skipped, and I have to re-record this hour, this private react. It's not Slayer's fault. It's, it's just fucking bullshit. It's like, that's my life. Right now, nothing in my life wants to just go smoothly. If you haven't noticed recently.
Oh yeah, DSP, your life has been in shambles recently. How could we forget? You got sick with the baby man virus, detractors are running both Comcast and Amazon, and Tevin's hiring local thugs in your area to steal your shopping bags.
It's like, I'm sick as shit. I lose a whole week of work, even though I put all this time building up a special Halloween event and spent all this money on a costume. Ruined. Can't do it.
Don't lie, DSP. You absolutely could have done that marathon. I don't know how many times we have to go over this. You could have just done it a little later than everybody else was expecting, and everybody still would have showed up all the same, and it wouldn't have mattered, not at all. But because you insisted on acting like a little bitch, you wasted money on that costume. You wasted everybody's time voting on what games that you were gonna play just so that you could wind up not doing anything. I'm so tired of this little pity party that you throw for yourself every single week talking about, oh, I'm so far behind because I couldn't do my Halloween stream. Gosh, nothing in my life is ever going right because I got sick a month ago, dude. Over a month ago now.
Okay, I'm just finally getting back on my feet. I'm catching up with playthroughs or getting stuff going. Malicious fucking employee at Comcast ruins my internet for half of a week, makes it unable to work.
We just did the entire Comcast stream this past weekend. I don't even want to touch this anymore. I'm tired of hearing about this too. I'm over it.
All right, finally, I got that under control, right? That seems to be under wraps. It seems like everything is getting wrapped up in that regard, and there's no big issues there. Great. Oh, now I can't do my other work. All other things are fucked up.
But DSP, this is your fault because you've known that you've been having this problem for about a year now. What's the saying? Fool me once, shame on you. And you know what they say about being fooled again. So it's totally one thing if your video gets corrupted and you find out that it happened. You're like, damn, I gotta figure out something. I gotta come up with a solution so this doesn't keep happening. But if you don't employ a solution or if you don't actually find a solution at all, you have no one to blame but yourself. Every time after that it happens is entirely your fault because your inaction is causing it.
It's like, give me a fucking break, right? Give me a fucking break. For once. Can't get it.
Are you serious right now? You want to say that you can't catch a break? Dude, your entire life is a break. You sit on your ass every single day and get paid to play video games. Not only get paid, but get paid handsomely, might I add. You haven't actually had a job in 15 years. You will probably never do manual labor again. You live in a gated community on the west coast of the United States. You want to talk about a break? Dude, your entire life.
Everyone, pull out your violins right now and start playing them for me. Oh, the horrible life of a content creator. Oh, I know that I'm just bitching, but it's nice to vent, and sometimes it's nice for you guys to know the issues that people go through doing this shit, you know? This sucks. It really sucks.
But regardless, you should not be venting to your audience about things like this. It makes it sound like it's a chore to put out content for them. It might actually make them feel like a burden in some way. And that's not how you should be making your audience feel. If you need to vent to somebody, then you should have friends in your real life or family that you can speak to. You should not be relying on your audience for things like that. Because I don't think that's why they show up. They don't show up so that you can vent to them. They show up because they want to see the stream, the video games, you know, the thing that you're supposed to be doing. They want to hear about the topics that you say that you're going to discuss. They want to hear the gaming news. Nobody wants to show up to a stream and hear a 41-year-old man baby crying and moaning about how his video recording got corrupted. That's not quality content.
I wanted to make good content for someone who supports me, and now it got all fucked up. And it's not his fault. Half of it is definitely YouTube's fault for being so pussy about this and not allowing the actual law to be followed. Instead, they block videos for no fucking godly reason. There's no legal reason to do it. They just do it because they're pussies.
You've been dealing with YouTube for 15 years straight now, DSP. You should know by now how they operate. You should know what you can and can't do. And you knew way before you decided to upload this video, or at least try to upload this video, that they were going to have a problem with it. At least you should have.
The other thing, the corrupting, there's really nothing I can really do until eventually one day I have enough money to buy a replacement PC, right? A full replacement PC for my PC, which I can't do. I don't have the money for it. And get one that's fully up to snuff, brand new Windows, all new components, and then having to figure out how to transfer everything over. Because remember, everything I'm using is Windows 8 shit. Like my whole OBS setup and everything, I'd have to figure out how to transfer all that over for an easy transition, which probably wouldn't be an easy transition. There's going to be some growing pains and learning how to do it and everything, you know.
And I think that this was the side objective for the entire segment. This is why he went so in depth on all of the problems that he was experiencing, right? Not only so he could bitch, that was the main objective, obviously. But he was on a side quest. He just had to get in that sneak beg for the PC. Or at least slip into your head that he can't afford one. That way the dents are a little more incentivized to tip heavy this week, thinking that it might actually go to improving the stream to some extent, but that obviously won't happen. Because it is DSP we're talking about.
So, yeah, I'm just kind of stuck. It's funny because people are like, oh, just update Windows. We've talked about this a million times. There's a lot of people come in here who aren't around all the time. Can't update Windows. My PC is 10 years old. If I update Windows, half the components in that PC will not work with modern Windows. They're just old. It's an old PC. The only way for me to fix this issue is to get a new PC with all new components, new Windows, and everything all in one fell swoop.
DSP low-key sounds like a kid trying to convince his mom why he needs the new gaming console. No, Mom, it doesn't work like that. I can't just upgrade. I have to get the whole new thing. Mom, please. When the reality of the situation is he should have been taking care of his equipment and giving it periodic upgrades throughout the years to make sure that he was up to date with all of his hardware. Again, given that his entire job is online.
Just to give you an example here. Last summer, I cleaned out my closet, okay? And then I found a device, a capture device. That's supposed to be like an analog capture device. You could plug in the old yellow, red, white cables from like an old console and capture directly in. So this is an old device. And I plugged it in, and literally just plugging in that one device crashed my Windows entirely. Nothing would work. I had to do a Windows restore just to get my PC to work normally again. It was a near disaster.
If we actually take DSP at his word here, which we actually know means nothing, but if we take him at his word, this is an absolutely insane story. This is supposed to be Mr. Professional. Mr. treats his streams like a professional job. Yet he's over here with ancient hardware, plugging it in and almost destroying his entire setup. Definitely professional behavior.
And I was like, dude, you really think I'm going to fuck with anything else? When at a moment's notice, this thing has issues like that, forget it, right? So, not much I can do about that. And before people idiotically say stuff like, what happened to the mini PC? The mini PC, you think a mini PC is set up to capture and stream. You really believe that. You don't think that thing would possibly overheat. This tiny little PC that's this size, you think that's a good capture and streaming device. You are wrong. That is a dumb suggestion. That would never fly.
But please notice that he didn't actually give any reason as to why it wouldn't work. All he said is that it's this small and that it could overheat. And honestly, I don't even believe that. But it just goes to show you that he didn't actually look into it at all because he can't give you any specifics as to why it wouldn't work. And he's proven time and time again that he doesn't actually know anything about PCs whatsoever. Because it's been proven multiple times that he could stream at higher qualities if he actually knew what he was doing with the hardware that he has. Hell, a year ago, Prophet even built a PC that's significantly worse than DSP's, and it's still capable of more than what DSP is currently doing with his hardware. But Phil's gonna sit here and swear that he needs a new PC to actually do anything better.
Okay? That little mini PC is meant to play a certain amount of games, like mid-range games, indie games, that kind of stuff. And it's a way to maybe do things like for me to play Fightcade eventually, which would be really nice to be able to play retro fighting games on there and shit like that. That's what that's for. That's a hobbyist PC. That's not, oh, this is my serious work PC that's going to be doing the fucking capturing all day. You're out of your mind. Okay? That's insanity.
But all it takes is one quick Google search to realize that DSP is straight lying here. Because there's a plethora of tutorials online that show you how you can stream just off of a mini PC. But just like always, DSP can't even be bothered to Google something. He can spend all of that time watching pro fighting game players to practice for Street Fighter, but can't be bothered to do a simple Google search and watch a video to show him how to properly utilize the hardware that he has, and potentially increase the quality of the stream.
Anyway, so, ooh, decompressing my back. So, that's what I was going through last night. Not very pleasant, all right? And now I'm facing the situation that next weekend, I'm just going to have to do another night stream where I don't stream, and I do this missing video. I have to re-record the missing video.
So be prepared to hear about it again, because you know when DSP has to take time out of his day to actually do something, be sure to bring it up on the following stream, just because he needs to bitch about it to somebody. And if Kat is even around anymore, she definitely doesn't want to hear this, because nobody actually cares about DSP's fake problems.
Fingers crossed that it doesn't corrupt. Fingers crossed that I can upload it and it won't be claimed or blocked. If not, then I have to upload it to another third-party service or whatever.
So he clearly hasn't learned anything from this experience, because he should just continue to use these third-party video uploading sites. There's no reason why he has to upload it to YouTube. In fact, it's been nothing but problems according to this story, so I don't know why he would insist on going back to the process that has caused him nothing but problems.
We'll see what happens, all right? But right now, I'm exhausted. Like, last night was so fucking exhausting. And I'm like,
yeah, DSP, I'm sure it was just exhausting. Sitting on your ass and maybe doing a couple of Google searches to try and figure out how you can save this corrupted video. I'm sure that was really intense work on your behalf. I'd hate to hear what these segments would sound like if he actually had to go work a normal job.
you're supposed to have a day where it's like, okay, it's my React day, right? So it breaks up all the gameplay. It's a good way to have variety and fun and break it up and do something a little different. And instead of that, it's just like, I'm enjoying the reacting I'm doing. The 2 hours that I reacted, I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing it. And then as soon as I finish and I go to actually do the work side of it, let's upload and get it going. Frustration, fucking shit.
But that train of thought didn't even make sense. He says, oh, you're supposed to have a day where, okay, I'm doing my React stuff, it's supposed to break up the gameplay. But then when I go to do the actual work part, it's just frustration. Just because you're frustrated with the work part, quote unquote, doesn't mean that it's not breaking up the gameplay. It's still accomplishing that. Also, you have to love that the way he talks about the React content, if it goes smoothly, he makes it sound like it's a day off. And I think that's because even he knows to some extent that the React style content is just low effort.
It was like, oh, I'm having fun. I'm doing this nice React for Slayer. Thankfully, I have so many awesome viewers and supporters like him who keep me afloat. And now let me provide the product. Oh, look, someone's walking up to me with giant gloves. And they're punching my balls repeatedly for the next 4 hours. Like my balls were speed bags. And someone's going on my testicles. It's like, oh, this feels great. Oh, this is what I was expecting tonight. Oh, this is after that nice React here. Oh. You know, Jesus Christ. All right, I think I've vented enough about this.
I agree, DSP. I think that you spent more than enough time venting about this. And I hate to be the one to tell you this, but it's not funny just because you said the word balls. That doesn't get an instant laugh. But nonetheless, that's going to be the end of the video. I really appreciate everybody that came back for the latter half of the story. And if you haven't seen the first half, I'd recommend that you go check out my previous video. Again, big up Snort Hogan for the clip. I really appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out everyone who watched the video just in general. And a special shout out to all of my members. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Hopefully I'll catch all of you guys in the next video. But until then, make sure that you check out other detractor channels and dive deeper into that Snortex.